2 years ago, even though I've had times of sobriety and like I've been surprised by those things, I would not have pictured myself right here today 2 years ago, because sometimes just at the mission, like a lot of people come and go, that's like one aspect of it. I knew what I needed to work on and I knew what I wanted to do this time around, but like I kind of just held those reservations of like, you just never know. Like I held them with you guys. I was like, life just happens, and so I don't know if I'm gonna be living with you guys, but I think once I got hired on at the mission and we would kind of still talk about it when we would hang out, like I was like, I definitely do like I knew that we would be living together, but I had no idea it would be in a place that's like this nice. Like it just feels surreal, still hasn't settled in, and it just feels like complete grace. To me, it just feels like complete grace, because like we were saying before, we had like no space and we got along, and now we have all this space and we get along. Maybe. It's the only time.
Most of the time we get along, yeah.
But yeah, I had no idea that I would be sitting right here, talking with you guys about this, and I just feel incredibly blessed.
I'm definitely like the most blue collar person I can think of, or that I know. I've had to work since I was like 16. I've been working, and through my drug addiction, I would work through my drug addiction a lot of times. I couldn't keep a job, but I had a lot of jobs, and I lost a lot of jobs, and that's all I've known. It's just you have to work hard. If you want something, you have to work hard for it. And I've worked hard my whole life, and I definitely spent a lot of time homeless, trying to work a job and be homeless and have a drug addiction, and that did not work at all. And kind of before I got to the mission, I never imagined that I would be sitting where I am right now. Coming from where, and I work hard, we all work hard for what we have, and it's a group effort. But I was destitute. I literally got off a bus from Texas with nothing but the clothes on my back and walked to the mission, and I felt that the Holy Spirit led me here. I didn't know why, and I thought I might be crazy, but with nothing but the clothes on my back. And when I got here, I was still learning to trust God and to have faith, and I was still building that relationship. And I thought I would be lucky to find some hole-in-a-wall apartment or like a sober living, and do that for a few years. And I thought maybe if I worked hard that I might, get like a one-bedroom apartment or something like that. And the point where I'm at now, I had like some small glimmer of hope in like the back of my mind, but I felt like it was a pipe dream that I could have something like this a few years after I got here and joined the program. And I can't, it's been a year now that since I graduated, and I can't believe how far I've come since I've graduated the program. I can't believe how far that I've come since I joined the program. And it took
when I first got to the mission, and it's not even just necessarily about the setting, but about like who you are. And I remember first getting to the mission, and the maintenance guy there, the junior was talking about, Jim, I remember he tried to get me to go help him with something one time. It was like some drywall or something around the building that needed fixing. And I grew up in a family where just real white-collar people, and my dad would always tell me, like, oh, don't worry about being good with your hands, like, we'll go hire somebody else to do that. And I remember I seconded that to Jim while we were at the mission. I was literally in a homeless shelter, and he asked me to help him, and I was like, no, I'm okay. He was like, you don't want to learn how to do this? I said, Jim, when I get out of here, I'll just hire somebody to do that. And and I'm a plumber now. So obviously, like, a lot changes, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, even with where we live now and like the people that, you know, having the guys still around me all the time, it's I never would have thought. I mean, when we were moving in here the whole time, I would look at Daniel and I would just be like, we're not supposed to be here. Every time. Like, we would be moving stuff in back and forth, and it just, like, it felt so surreal. And so to think that 2 years ago I was living in a homeless shelter with absolutely no desire to do anything physical or manual labor, any blue collar kind of job, because I was still being that kind of picky snob while living in a homeless shelter. And then to see, I guess, what happens now when you can really make a positive change on your life and your mindset. Like, it's
coming down here, that first 24 hours changed everything. Had I not found the mission when I first got off the bus, none of this would have happened. Had I not, like, listened to whoever was outside telling me to go up those stairs to the front door to the mission, if I didn't hear that or listen to that or even consider it, I wouldn't have been here. The 17 months or so that I was in that program felt way longer than it actually was. So many things happened. There's stories from every single day that I was there that I could talk about right now. But the fact that I was able to do an internship while being there, because I recognized then that I didn't want to run into a dead-end job, that I did want to help people, because I knew that it was possible, because I was seeing it firsthand, not just myself, but these 3 guys and everyone else, plus the guests that are there. Things are happening, things are changing. But being, you know, like, even with my job, being on salary, working in the recovery community, speaking of which, still, no, I did not consider any of that. And then, for me being, after graduating, I went to the Freedom House, and so I didn't spend a lot of time with these guys, but that connection was still there. That's how powerful that was. That connection was still there, even though we were still doing our own things, you know, living our life.
Yeah, life definitely happens after you leave the mission.
So things, you know, we were doing what we need to do outside of the mission. But did I ever think that we'd reconvene to a location like this, or even have the opportunity 2 years ago? Absolutely not. Did I think that I would have friends 2 years ago? No.
I think we've all had a lot of trust issues, but I never thought that I would have that type of trust, or that I would have an apartment or a townhouse like this, or a job like the one I do now. You know, this is an amazing thing. I'm really blessed to have this.